Yeah, that was the last time we saw the legendary Manny Pacquiao in the ring. And I know you're thinking, oh, he didn't look that bad. But then you realize that was a fucking kickboxer. Huh? Yeah, a kickboxer. That's what I'm talking about, man. All he had to do was just look good. Just look good, man. He just looked good, and I wouldn't be mad at this fight.
You had one job. Just the one.
But you didn't. And now we're talking about you fighting Mario Barrios for a WBC welterweight championship. Now, if you're a boxing fan like I am, this is bad news for those of us that want to see unifications. But I'm going to tell you why this is even worse news for Conor Benn.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? It's your boy, Dr. Boxing Talk, back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I know what time it is. The doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. As you can see, Manny Pacquiao is rumored to be coming back, you know, and don't even get it twisted. When I say rumored, I mean, it's pretty close to being solidified and finalized, you know, per sources, particularly Lance Pugmire, who's a contributor to Boxing Scene, right? He has dropped some bomb on us, man. He dropped a bomb on us saying, hey, man, Manny Pacquiao is set to return against Mario Barrios after his run for the Senate in May 12th in his home country of the Philippines. Now, I'm not too mad at it, to be honest, because, you know, hey, Manny Pacquiao's a legend. If he wants to come back and he looks good while doing it, cool. But my problem is the latter, right? He's not going to look good, man. He is 46 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry.
And that's not old in life, but you know, when you're talking about coming back and having a championship fight at the highest level in a combat sport like boxing, then that's pretty bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we've seen a lot of legends come back and fight way past their prime, and it doesn't end well. You know, they lose to guys that they have no business losing to. You know, Manny Pacquiao, we've seen it done to him. We've seen it done to his countryman, the great Nonito Donaire, the Filipino Flash. We've seen it done to the American Deontay Wilder. You know, we're in fear that it may happen to Errol Spence. We've seen it done to the legend and Roy Jones Jr. We see it happening with a great fighter in Jose Sniper Pedraza. We see when guys just fight too long past their prime and they are basically a shell of themselves, and we are worried about their welfare. You know, they're putting their health in jeopardy, especially for their chapters after boxing. So that's why I don't like it. But as far as Manny Pacquiao getting an opportunity to be a champion again and going up there with the late great George Foreman, you know, rest in peace, I'm all for it, but I don't think he's going to win. But the reason why I think that this is true, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is just talks. Well, PBC, they have reserved a date in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for July 19th. You know what I'm saying? Just in case Manny Pacquiao decides to actually pursue a comeback in boxing, you know? And like I showed you in the intro, that was against a kickboxer, you know? And if he couldn't look good or dominant against a kickboxer who has limited experience in the boxing ring as a professional boxer, as a pugilist, then your chances to being a champion in Mario Barrios, I don't care what your opinion is of Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is a good fighter. He's a formidable fighter. I know he has 2 losses, but that was to Gervonta Tank Davis, who's a champion, and that's to Keith Thurman, who's a former champion. I know you might be like, oh, well, Manny Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman. Well, not his last time out. Manny Pacquiao's last fight, he lost to Yordenis Ugas, right?
Yeah.
And Yordenis Ugas, you know, his best win is Manny Pacquiao, the legend, right? His other big fights, he lost to Sean Porter.
Yeah.
He lost to Errol Spence.
Yeah.
And he lost to Mario Barrios.
Damn. I'm sorry.
The same guy Manny Pacquiao's coming back to fight, right? So we all know the triangle theory doesn't always work in boxing, but it works quite a bit, man. So, you know, if Manny Pacquiao lost to Ugas and Barrios beat Ugas, I think it's a pretty good chance that Mario Barrios would beat the 46-year-old.
Damn.
Manny Pacquiao as well. I know y'all may be like, oh, well, that's not a good enough reason to count out the legendary Manny Pacquiao. But yes, I am predicating it off of the fact that Yordenis Ugas lost to the former champion Sean Porter.
Yeah.
He lost to Errol Spence.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Mario Barrios.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So I just had to repeat that to let you know that, yeah, I think Mario Barrios will beat Manny Pacquiao. But like I said, the shiny light is that I'm cool with it because, you know, this is a business, and the fighters, including Manny Pacquiao and including Mario Barrios, they deserve to get a big bag. You know, it is called prize fighting. So if you want to make sure that your bag is the biggest, then I can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get your money and stuff like that. However, as a boxing fan, as a pugilist enthusiast, as a boxing purist, I do want to see the best fights possible, you know, when possible, and I would much rather see unification. Now, the reason why this is bad news for Conor Benn is the fact that, you know, Conor Benn just suffered his first defeat against Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank held it down for the integrity of boxing. Big salute to Chris Eubank. I was rooting for him. I predicted that he would win, and he didn't steer me wrong. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Chris Eubank. And, you know, I'm not really a big fan of Conor Benn because he's a cheater.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
Right. But at the same time, I got to give credit where credit is due, because me being a former amateur boxer, I salute anybody that can hop into that ring. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that talk trash about these guys and girls that fight, they wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight themselves.
Nigga, you's a bitch.
You know, so I got to give credit where credit is due. And Conor Benn did nothing else. He displayed a lot of heart, man. He showed a lot of fighting spirit. So I do commend him for his effort that he put in last night. But he did lose. And after the fight, he was contemplating whether he wants to pursue a rematch with Chris Eubank, because apparently they have a rematch clause, or go back to 147 and pursue Mario Barrios. Well, buddy, it seems like you have to take a back seat, because if I'm Mario Barrios, if I see Conor Benn as my option and Manny Pacquiao is my option, I mean, who could knock Mario Barrios for potentially going for the bigger bag, you know, say the more lucrative deal with Manny Pacquiao? And no disrespect to Manny Pacquiao, the legend, he's a shell of his former self, so you better believe that that's an easier fight for Mario Barrios. So I think Mario Barrios will certainly pick Manny Pacquiao and go that route as opposed to Conor Benn. So that's why I think it's bad news for Conor Benn. Do I think this fight actually happens? I think there's a very good chance, because Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't want to give up boxing yet, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the legend, man. That's one of my favorite fighters of all time, Manny Pacquiao. But I do think that it's just a little bit too far gone and a little bit too much to expect him to beat Mario Barrios. Like I said, I know a lot of people consistently shit on Mario Barrios, but I think he's a good champion. He's not the best. You know, I think Boots is the best in the 147-pound division. I think Brian Norman and Barrios is a good fight, but I would lean towards Brian Norman Jr. But we got to stop this notion and this attitude towards the fighters and thinking that, oh, because you're not the best, that you're not good. There's a whole lot of space between being bad and being trash and being great. You know what I'm saying? You could be good, you could be formidable, you could be decent. There's a whole lot of space and there's a whole lot of room for other fighters. Just because they're not champions don't mean that we should be dismissive of them, especially when they are champions. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of good fighters that aren't good enough to become champions. And Mario Barrios, not only is he a champion now, he's been a champion for a long time. In fact, he's the longest serving champion in the 147-pound division currently right now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mario Barrios. This fight is okay, I guess. You know, I'm all right with it, but this is not the fight I want. I want to see unifications at the 147-pound division, or let him have a meaningful fight against a highly rated contender like Shakram Giyashov or somebody like that, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. Look forward to July 19th, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, man, according to reputable sources. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be easy, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smack that like button, but most importantly, remember, with God we can do anything. Without God we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.